Moin from Hamburg. I'm Walter Matthias Kunze, and it's time for the daily Trend Talk. It's the 1st of July, and today we're talking about music. We're talking about music, musical trends, and also about female leadership. I'm very happy to announce that I'll be talking now to the Danish artist and musician and composer Ronja Marie Damgaard, and she has a classical education and now does music in the range of, let's say, pop, rock, and of course also with some classical elements. It's very intense, very interesting also, and so I'm very curious what you think about this, and I think it's important to see how artists feel and breathe, so to say, in times of Corona-Krise, also in these times, and what's the view of the artist, of the musician on the current times and also on the future. So let's go on into the talk with Ronja.
So I'm happy to have Ronja Marie Damgaard from Denmark as guest at the Daily Trend Talk. Ronja, your artist. Yeah, just Ronja. Okay, so welcome. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So Ronja is also your artist's name, right?
Yes.
You're also with the name. You are present on Spotify.
On Spotify and all the streaming platforms, yeah.
So guys, everyone who wants to listen to Ronja's music, beautiful music, I must say, we're putting the link to her Spotify account and to the other accounts down there in the text to this video. Ronja, sorry, I have to ask this. I know this. Everyone asks this to artists. Okay, how do you work? How do you thrive during Corona-Krise? For instance, this morning there had been an interview with one of the Kelly family, and who lives in Ireland, and they asked him how Ireland imposed kind of curfew. So how is working for you as an artist, as a musician these days? You don't have any concerts currently, do you?
So like the thing is that I just had a baby, and that has been the greatest coincidence of luck when it comes to this Corona-Krise, because I've been enclosed in my safe baby bubble. I have literally not given a shit about what's going on on this earth apart from this baby.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, that's basically it. I have been on this intensive boot camp of attention, learning to get to know what that is in me and how to distribute it, so to speak. And that has been the best thing for my work.
Cool. Well, that the baby is inspiration, does it mean you're also making you will be making an album around the baby or influenced by the baby?
Well, you know, I mean, art takes time. You can't force it. And I have been a mother for 4.5 months. So what the future holds is not yet known regarding that. But the music that I have been doing so far would probably mostly be categorized as like electronic rock music or indie rock, so to speak. And I mean, I like to make it grand and slow, so it's very much like yeah, like Lana Del Rey, kind of like that.
Okay, so you're saying Lana Del Rey is one of the influencers to you?
Yeah, I mean, I probably can't run away from that.
And so, well, okay, Lana Del Rey, if you listen to that, listen to Ronja's music. But I think it's a little bit more different than yours, than Lana's, but there is some. But Ronja, I must say, isn't that normal? I think you listen to whatever, one of the classics, I think Mozart, for instance, influenced nearly everyone. And also did Bach, and also did Handel in their ways. So I think it's totally okay.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, you can't walk around in this world without being influenced.
Are you working currently on an album or not?
So the thing is that I have been channeling like a performance called the Matriarch,
Okay.
which is like about taking the victimism out of a certain part of the feminist movement,
Mhm.
without, hurting anybody's feelings. I want to say, but like, of course, somebody's always going to get hurt. But like, the thing is, like, I don't really know how to explain it. Um, it's like a show that kind of like channels that, yeah, like a weak and irresponsible part of. No, I don't really know what to say about it. I'm sorry, but it's just maybe it's not ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
But the major, as far as I know, you already had an album that has, or a song. It's called The Monarch, right?
it's called Rising of the Monarch. Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
that's more about like how I kind of like came into my own authenticity, really. So it's not like the monarch as in like I'm dictating the world, even though I would like to, but who wouldn't? But it's more like I'm like the monarch of my own life, so to speak.
so monarch is the single ruler. Matriarch is the female ruler. Then you have hierarchy, and
I mean, I must say I'm very fascinated with like um a certain female archetype, like the mother, the queen, the
okay.
like this very powerful creative being that is also quite terrifying, because many would probably call her irrational and emotional, but like, I mean, nothing is irrational really. Like, that's just because you don't know where the emotions come from. But everything is logic, the way I see
Okay.
it. There's just a lot of unknown factors, and as human beings, we like to call that irrational or erratic or something like that. But
I see. Then there is an artist who says, "Okay, my record isn't called the female leader, so I'm the matriarch. So just we have the patriarch, no, you're the matriarch."
yeah,
So that's my comment. That's for that. I say it's interesting.
very much. Because what would happen if all leadership were female? Would we have a better world, I'm not quite sure. I must
Hmm.
be honest. But that's like what it's exploring, the matriarch. Like, what would happen in that case?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
What is a patriarch? Like, what even is this phenomenon? Like, what does it mean? Is it like, because I think more it's like some, okay, now it gets a little weird, but more like some large phenomenon, like a spirit or something that sometimes manifests this time and space quite often in people's minds and in the media also a lot. And so I don't think you could say, I mean, I don't think you can answer that so easily, but like it's bigger than that. It's not about one person like that. It's like, it's a little bit like when you ask about female leadership or like my take on it. I have
Yeah.
like two versions, so to speak, and one is like the what I just said, like the exploration of if women or feminine humans were in the power positions of the so-called patriarchs today.
Yeah.
Like, that is the way of exploring. But there's something that's much more interesting to me actually, which is like we think that patriarchy is like this huge, unstoppable machine that's like dictating our lives. Or I know that a lot of people feel that way. And then we look to media, we look at our phones like all the time. We watch Netflix and whatever, and we have discussions with people. We don't even understand what we truly are and how powerful we actually are. I think
Okay.
like the issue with patriarchy is that there's a lot of people in this world who are completely unaware of the power they hold within themselves. And I understand that because it's terrifying. And we are, it's like you have a wild horse available to you that can take you anywhere you like in the world, but you don't even know like how to do horseback riding, you know? And it's like, I think a part of what's going on right now is that we're waking up to this power within ourselves, and that inevitably causes a lot of disruption. So what I think is going on is something that's much bigger than patriarchy, much bigger than any paradigm, so to speak. One could say like, but isn't that just life? And yeah, it is, but that's the beauty of it in a way. It's like in reality, and that is reality. It's much bigger than patriarchy and biases and good and bad and all that. There's something much greater than that, disposable or available to us. I didn't mean to say disposable.
So you're also a spiritual person.
I mean, am I a physical person? Yes, obviously. Am I a mental person? Obviously. Am I spiritual? It's just a part of the human being. But right
That
now,
sounds
there's
very,
a part of, right now there's a part of us that we are completely unaware of, that we are starting to realize, I think. And inevitably, there will always be a part of our being that we are unaware of, because there's always more to discover, and that's the beauty of it, really. But we're at a place right now where I think we are relearning a lot of things in order to the next step, so to speak, in like what I see as completely natural human evolution. We're stressed as fuck, and we can't keep going like that. We're ruining the earth, and the earth is going to be fine, but like we're probably not. Like that's the truth.
Yeah, that's widely discussed, and people are saying, okay, more and more people are coming up and saying, okay, it's a corona crisis, but also it's a chance, it's an opportunity for us to do so many things to make them new, to renew them in a way.
I don't know about
economics up to societal topics.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this corona crisis. Honestly, it seems a little bit off for me. Like there's a lot of advice being given that's like contradictory and stuff like that. I haven't really given it a lot of thought, but I mean, also what happens like when you start to question the very things you've never questioned before, like the how legitimate actually like governments are, for instance. Like of course it's going to bring a lot of confusion, and the only thing you can really cling to are facts. And what if the facts have been manipulated or I mean, they're fake news, of course, that's like, but even real numbers that people have measured can be manipulated. So it's like it's all very airy, you know, and it's like, yeah. So I just don't really give it a lot of attention, and I know that's like not everybody like can do that, you know, because this is like a thing that apparently like everybody is going mad crazy about. So like if your boss is like telling you wear a mask, it's not like you can not wear a mask if you want to keep your job or something like that. But like, I mean, you can turn off your phone. I know it's wild, but it's real. You can do it. Whoops.
Ronja, what is it that brought you to music?
I don't know. I was just really I had a very beautiful voice, and it was discovered very early. And then I enjoyed it as a kid, I remember, and then I became completely mesmerized with like the pop stars like Britney Spears and stuff like that.
Lana
And
Del Rey.
well, that was not until later, but yeah. And I remember like I wanted, you know, that those images, you know, those like flawless videos, and I loved that stuff.
Okay.
And so I did also classical music for many years, because the grown-ups, so to speak, believed I had to train my voice, and you know,
Okay.
it was both good and bad. But like now,
Yeah.
I have spent many years untraining it and releasing its full creative power.
What do you mean by that? So you say you trained your voice, and now you say you're untraining it. Does it mean the way you learned singing wasn't correct or wasn't good?
Yeah, but that's the thing though, with correctness, you know, it's like at least when I began doing voice lessons, there was a lot of like the correct way of doing it, so to speak. And I've had a few very good teachers who knew that it was about more than that, but I have not been fortunate enough to have them over all the years that I was doing it. So at one point, I could feel like it was so restricted for me, like singing, I didn't do it because it was not bringing me any joy. I could not motivate myself to actually to practice my instrument and stuff like that. So I just stopped doing it, and when I kind of like officially said, okay, you know, I'm not doing music anymore, then I started doing the real stuff, you know, and then it
Okay.
kind of from there. And a few
So
years
yeah,
later, I released my own music, and you know, who knows what's gonna happen next, really.
the first album you released,
Yeah,
that was
that was
the
that.
pardon?
That was the Rising of the Monarch. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so guys, if you want to listen to that, it's excellent. I must say, I really am convinced. So, what's the chance of us all, the people listening to your music, to see you live during the next months or so? Be it in a sofa concert, be it at a hotel or in a bar,
No,
whatever.
I really like. Right now, I'm working on like just trying to open myself up to the different possibilities, because like I mean, the more I want things to go in a certain way, the less they happen. So I'm just kind of like feeling my way forward, you know, and how to do this, because the show is there.
Okay.
like in the sphere of Earth, so to speak. I've done it in my own little bedroom, but I would like to also do it for an audience, and to do that is like there's a lot of things that are out of my control, so I'm trying to like feel my way forward and how it will manifest. Yeah, and I'm also nervous about it and stuff like that. You know how it is with all that.
Okay.
But then, yeah.
Hmm.
So it's very likely, it's just not very clear yet how exactly, but in the next few months, of course.
Okay, I'm very curious, and so I think also our watchers. And Ronja, I'm very, very happy, very, very thankful to have you here on the Daily Trendtalk. And if it's okay, so I'd say we played a little clip of your recent music.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so this will be cut into the video.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy making like things that are to be viewed on a small screen like a phone. So like a lot of the stuff that I make is like on Instagram.
Okay.
So for instance, like I also published my 2 latest videos on IGTV. So like, I mean, that's really where, like that's the medium, so to speak, where I feel I can express myself the best.
So you also would kind of do a live streaming of your concerts on IGTV?
Yeah, when I gather the courage, I will.
Well, no.
Well, of course I will. It's just the voices in the head, you know. Perfectionism and stuff like that. But it's all to be dealt with. It's okay.
I think that's a nice what to say quote. The voices in the head.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they are.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Very much. I'm very curious on the next album, and so hope to talk to you soon. Maybe let's see how things are working in a year. The next album or songs are out, and you're looking back to this time of the year and saying, yeah, okay. So, guys, subscribe to Ronja's Instagram, subscribe to her Spotify. It's really worth it. And follow her. And I'd say we see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.
So this has been the talk with Ronja. What are your thoughts about this? What are your own experiences, and are you possibly an artist as well, or are you working with artists? What is your feeling about the future for art in these times, for music, and for instance also live events, and also of course, how is it? What do you think about artists, musicians, painters, writers, and feeling the future and having a sense on the future? I'm very curious on your opinion. Let's go into this discussion and just write your comments down there. And so let's create future together here and now. Tomorrow will be the next Daily Trend Talk. Then I'll be talking with Markus Munk. And I'm very curious about that. Then we're talking about technology and digitization in the office. So, see you again tomorrow at the next Daily Trend Talk. Happy to talk to you.